This is the Water Quality Association podcast. Let's address the person who might be on the fence about attending.
And the fact that this convention has not been in Miami Beach, so it's a new experience for everybody. The location is going to lend itself to the vibe of the event. And then, of course, the amazing educational content that we have planned.
That's WQA's Events Director, Angie Silberhorn, talking about the top reasons to attend the WQA Convention and Expo in Miami Beach, April 28th through the 30th, 2026. And welcome to the podcast from the Water Quality Association, the leading voice of the residential, commercial, and industrial water treatment industry. I'm Wes Bleed. Find us at WQA.org. Be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. Share the podcast with someone on your team. And a reminder, you can watch our podcasts on YouTube. This episode is brought to you by Coro Protec, powered anode rods for water heaters trusted by water treatment professionals and WQA members across North America. As Coro Protec celebrates 20 years of protecting water heaters and helping prevent hot water issues, join them on day 2 of next week's WQA Convention and Expo for a must-attend technical session on how water softeners affect water heater performance, including odor, corrosion, and warranty implications across low to high TDS environments. Click the link in the episode notes to learn more. In this episode, we sit down with Angie Silberhorn, WQA's Events Director, to walk through what attendees should know before they go, from planning your schedule and using the convention app, to making the most of education sessions, the expo floor, and networking opportunities. Whether you're attending the convention for the first time or returning again this year, this Know Before You Go conversation will help you arrive prepared, focused, and ready to get the most out of your time in Miami Beach. Plus, we'll have our WQA tip. It's all coming up on the Water Quality Association podcast. Angie, great to see you. Thanks for joining us on the podcast. I know it's a very busy time ahead of the WQA convention, so we really appreciate your time. And we're excited to talk to you about what people should know before they go to the convention. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Wes. It's great to be here.
Let's address the person who might be on the fence about attending for right now. I mean, we'll get to the person who is attending, but the person who is on the fence, what makes this year's convention and expo in Miami Beach a can't-miss event?
Yeah, well, how much time do we have? I'm the one who knows that you got to be at this event. You have to be here. Some of the things that we've been talking about lately is really the human interaction, the connections, the interpersonal engagement that you get at an in-person event that you can't get online. As much as I love this kind of interaction, when you're face-to-face in person, the serendipitous moments happen that you just can't get anywhere else. So we hear time and time again about how much of that happens at our convention. So you want to be there. And the fact that this convention has not been in Miami Beach, so it's a new experience for everybody. The location is going to lend itself to the vibe of the event. And then, of course, the amazing educational content that we have planned, and the opportunities to meet with and find new vendors to do business with and maintain and build on those relationships that you've had for years and years. Those are the things that we hear from folks about our convention that they find so very valuable, and those in-person connections and all of those things that just can't be missed.
Yeah, if you're in the water treatment industry and have not been to a WQA convention, you are missing a lot. There's no question about that. It's the place to be, kind of the premier event in North America for water treatment, and all of the expo with the trade show floor, the equipment, the technology, as well as the education, as Angie just summed up. And Angie, I do want to pick up on something you mentioned, which was the location, Miami Beach, and give you a little kudos for creating some new and exciting venues for the convention. I know for many years we were either in Las Vegas or Orlando, and now we've been in California, and now here we are in Miami Beach, and you can talk about where we are next year. But I think that's exciting.
Yeah, thank you. It's very intentional. Definitely. These destinations and folks who join us in Miami Beach will experience the more intimate destination, um, where when you go out to dinner at a nearby restaurant, you're going to run into other water quality professionals. You're going to see us, our group. You're going to feel your peers, see your peers everywhere you go, not just get swallowed up by lots of other conventions that are in town and lots of other people. So a lot of those serendipitous moments that I'm talking about and a lot of those synergies that happen, the destination lends itself to those things. So it's very intentional, these new destinations that we're selecting. And when you're with us in Miami Beach, you will see and hear us talking about 2027 in Phoenix. So, yeah, believe it or not, I am already very deep in planning for 2027 and beyond as well.
That's really exciting. And so let's go back here now to this convention. Again, sort of a know before you go podcast that we all often do before convention. Just make sure people are aware of things like, and we'll get to this, but downloading the app, making sure you have all the technology available and so forth, which is really great. But let's talk about if there's anything new, unique, different this year. Somebody who's been to a convention before, what can they expect?
Yeah, so we make a lot of things available, and we wanna make sure that everyone is very well prepared ahead of arriving at the convention so that that experience, is not confusing or frustrating at all. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do ahead of time. Um, planning planning for this, to directly answer your question, um, we have been intentionally listening to our past attendees and to our audience, and based on some of the feedback that we've gotten, we design the next year's program um, to meet some of that feedback. So, a couple of examples. A couple of years ago, we heard from a lot of folks about wanting to have more opportunities to learn together, all in the same place, rather than being spread out in constantly in 5 to 8 different education sessions, which we have some of that too. We have to have that to meet everyone's education needs, but we very intentionally added more general sessions. So, again, this year, after very positive feedback last year, we have 4 general sessions once again with very compelling topics that apply to anyone and everyone in the industry. So, if you work in this industry, you're going to find content in these 4 general sessions that you will find valuable to you or to your customers. Um, so, we've got the 4 general sessions kind of anchoring the education program. And then when we get into those smaller group education sessions, where you can choose the ones that specifically pertain to you more than maybe some others, we have different learning styles in mind as well. So we've been hearing feedback from participants that they want more than just traditional lecture style sessions. So we've incorporated this year more roundtable style discussions where folks can really be sharing and learning from one another as much as they're learning from the subject matter experts who might be leading those conversations. So there's a lot to choose from. We know that there's a lot to choose from. Um, so you want to plan ahead to make sure that you're getting the sessions on your schedule that are going to be most beneficial to you.
Yeah, great. And in a previous podcast, we talked with Tanya Lubner, who is the Director of Professional Certification and Training, and John McCartan from her team about the complete education lineup. So check that podcast out and hear more about that. All right, let's look at the schedule. Lots going on. So, first of all, let's go back to that person who might be attending for the first time and they're trying to get a handle on things now before they go. What would you suggest?
So we've made a lot of tools available, and your first stop should be the convention website, which I'm, I'm sure we're going to be sharing it, right? So WQA.org/convention. You're going to want to be very familiar with that website. And there's a specific page on there for first-time attendees that helps kind of walk you through the experience, tells you what you should do to plan your experience. Also, in the website, you're going to find the complete sessions schedule, the entire convention schedule, including the expo and networking activities. But the session schedule is the one where you're going to really want to dig in to that. Um, it is broken down so that you can sort or filter it in multiple different ways to find the things that you're interested in. You can sort it by level. You can set it if you're looking for intermediate, advanced, or entry level type education. You can filter it by different tracks. Are you looking for business operation training? Are you looking for technical training? Um, and you can sort it by what we call tags. It's referred to
Mm.
in both the website and the app, which we'll get to. But you can sort by tags, and those tags are really where you dig deep into the specific content. Is that content for marketing, for example, or is it for small systems operators, or is it ideal for water treatment professionals? Um, is it ideal for, oh, what are some of the other tracks? Are you looking to grow your business? Are you looking for something about innovation? Um, Really fine tuning the session schedule using those tags is how you're going to pick what you want to attend. So think about your schedule ahead of time. Don't just get on site. You can come on site and just go to whatever you want. But to really maximize your ROI, you're going to want to plan ahead and think about what sessions you want to put on your schedule.
And this is also helpful, Angie, for the 2 or 3 folks who might come from one company and they want to divide and conquer, right? They'll pick and choose what they want to all attend before they attend. So they know, hey, you go here, I'll go over here, and so forth.
Exactly. That is one of my favorite tips. I use it. I attend conventions. Believe it or not, there are conventions for convention planners, and I attend conventions with some of my colleagues, and we do that. We sit down and we plan ahead, and we say, "Hey, there's 3 sessions during this time frame that I sound really, really great. Well, you go to this one, you go to that one, I'll go to this one, and we'll take notes and we'll share our notes afterwards." That's how we divide and conquer. But it doesn't mean that you have to have all your colleagues there, because we know there's a lot of folks there who are the only person from their company, and I know how to have fun with that one too, because I've done this one myself as well. You know what? That's how I meet people. That's and believe it or not, I'm an introvert, but I have to go to conventions too. This is where we all learn and where we all network and meet people. But even as an introvert, I will run into somebody that I already know or start chatting with somebody they don't know. And I will say, "Hey, what session did you go to in the last time slot?" And if they went to a different session than I went to, that's how I start a conversation. I will say, "Hey, what was that session about? What were your takeaways from it? Hey, what session are you going to next? We got like next session starts in 15 minutes. Which one are you going to? Hey, let's hook up at the reception tonight because I want to hear about that session." That's how I network when I'm there on my own and I don't have my colleagues there to divide and conquer in these sessions.
Lasting friendships have been built by first meeting at a WQA convention. And you'll hear story upon story of that very thing. Now, let me throw this at you, and I kind of know what the answer is, but I want you to say it, and that is, how do I balance all of the activities, the education, the trade show floor, the networking sessions, and so forth? It almost seems, as I'm hearing you say this, like there might be competition for one or the other. Is there a way to balance everything so that I don't miss what I want to need to attend?
Yeah, so we've designed the schedule so that the general sessions are unopposed. So if there's a general session going on, there's nothing else going on. When the expo hours are open, there's nothing else going on. So those two major things are running unopposed. So you're going to put those on your schedule and plan accordingly. The only things that really run concurrently are these education sessions. And that's the thing that you really need to plan based on what are your objectives for being at the convention. Um, if you are there to learn about one specific topic, seek out those sessions and plan ahead. That's where you need to plan your schedule Plan for those sessions that are running between 5 and 8 sessions concurrently at any one time. Plan for those and then know at the other times, during the general session times, during the expo times, during the networking reception, that time is unopposed and that's where everyone is going to be. So focus your advanced planning time on those individual education sessions and prioritizing based on your own personal objectives there.
And as far as the expo floor is concerned, you can do somewhat of the same thing, right? You can get a look at the floor plan and see who's who and where they'll be. And that will prevent you from just sort of the aimless wandering as you walk in.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is where using our mobile app is going to be your best friend because that technology that's available now, if you're registered for the convention, you have to be registered. You can download and access the app right now. That one I highly recommend. Go through the exhibitor list. There you can sort and filter it as well. You can sort by different product categories and make a plan of attack for the show floor. You can schedule appointments in the app. You can, again, I attend trade shows myself. So I do the same thing here where I will try to schedule appointments based on the show floor geography so that I'm not killing my feet more than I necessarily have to by zigzagging all across the trade show floor. You can plan your schedule and what exhibitors you want to see and book appointments with them. Book appointments to meet with them in their booth during the show floor hours. You can do that all within the app. You can reach out to them. You can connect with the exhibitors. You can connect with other attendees. But to manage your schedule and make sure that you accomplish everything that you set out to accomplish, you can just schedule it all right inside the app.
Yeah, and I suppose this goes without saying, but the exhibitors are looking for you to book appointments. They want to talk with you, right? I mean, that's why they're there.
Yeah, exactly. And we're training them. I've been producing tutorials and guidance information to help them use all these tools as well. So they might be reaching out to attendees and requesting appointments with them. The appointment scheduling within the app goes in all directions. Anyone can schedule a meeting with anyone else. But ideally for attendees navigating the show floor, yeah, book appointments with exhibitors. They might book appointments with you. You could book those sessions, for example. Maybe you want to meet up with some of your colleagues at one of the general sessions. Maybe schedule an appointment with them within the app, schedule an appointment with a group of people to meet up in the ballroom foyer and go find seats together in the general session. You can facilitate all that within the app.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't that long ago when all we had was the paper program, and lots changed since then, and making so much more value for anybody attending the convention. Now, we've been talking a little bit about the trade show floor, the exhibitors, and so forth. And I'm just wondering, is it if somebody's listening to this and they're saying, you know what, man, I really wanted to book some booth space and I just didn't get around to it. Can you still do that?
Absolutely. Yep. We make sure that we have room to grow. Our show floor is well over 200 exhibitors at this point, but we still have some tentatives coming into the pipeline. We had a new exhibitor booked just a couple of days ago. So yeah, we can absolutely make that happen.
All right. So just go to the website again. There's information there about how to do that. Okay. Let's kind of go back and summarize to a certain extent. If you had to highlight two or three don't miss this as far as key moments from the schedule. Can you give us a few?
Yeah, of course, I want to say everything because it all feels
Yeah.
like you got to see everything, um, but you need to prioritize, right? So those 4 general sessions really anchor the entire convention. So make sure you book your travel and plan your schedule so that you can be at all 4 of those general sessions on the schedule. Um, there are 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, and 1 on Thursday. And then, of course, the expo itself anchors anchors the show. So again, those things that run unopposed, the general sessions in the expo, plan your time in the expo, plan ahead to make sure that you accomplish your objectives in the expo. And then, of course, on Wednesday, as soon as the expo floor closes at 5 o'clock, we have a fabulous networking reception that's going to be up on the fourth floor on the Sunset Vista Terrace of the Miami Beach Convention Center on the west side of the building, where everyone will be gathering for some great cocktails before heading out for a fabulous evening of dining out at the restaurants in Miami Beach. So plan to be there for that as well.
Very good. Angie, can't thank you enough for joining us and giving us the highlights and whetting our appetites for a great convention.
We are so looking forward to seeing everybody in Miami Beach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wes.
And our WQA tip, the WQA Reverse Osmosis, or RO, Market Trends Report, has been updated with results from the first quarter of 2026. This quarterly report provides insights into residential RO system sales across the U.S. and Canada, and it's available free to WQA members. Thanks for joining us for the Water Quality Association podcast. Learn more about water and water filtration at our consumer website, betterwatertoday.org, and learn more about professional certification, the Gold Seal Product Certification Program, and how you can become a member at WQA.org.